everybody, Tragic here, and welcome to Mage Night. This is Shades of Tezla, and this is the turn we've been waiting for. Oh, finally, we are assaulting the Hidden Valley, and it's going to be glorious. We are trying to kill this thing. Now, our main goal is, we've got two goals. We want to get rid of the mega threats. I'm not too worried about the greens, but we want to get rid of both the dragons, probably get rid of this guy. If we can get rid of him, we will, but knock this thing down. So at the moment, it's 12. I'd like to get it down to something like 5. We'll see how we go. Basically, the way this works is that, I know I've talked about this a few times, but I think some people might tune in just for this video because it's like a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to go through it all. And that's why we're actually starting at the end of a turn. So it's actually his turn. And yeah, so let's get going. Whatever. The point is, this guy has 4 fire resistance. So every time we do a multiple of 4, we knock this down a peg. So that would go to 11 if we did 4 damage. But if we did 8 damage, it would go to 10. Right? But the interesting thing is the dial doesn't spin until after all rounds of combat. Okay, so all the people. So it stays at 12 and it stays at 4 fire resistance until the entire attack on the city is resolved. Okay, so even though this, say I do 12 damage, that puts it down 3, that would put it to 9. The next character to fight isn't fighting a elusive 6, right? They're still fighting a 4 fire resistance. The bad side is that this double 8 fire attack hits every single person, okay? So we split up the units as normal, but the double 8 fire attack hits every single person attacking the city, as well as whatever units they get. Now, we kind of went a little overboard in our turns. We should have attacked last turn, basically, and we didn't, which kind of sucks. Now, basically 2 turns ago we should have attacked, and we didn't. And the reason this is a real issue is because we're probably not going to kill the avatar. We're probably going to almost kill it, or maybe get to the point where we can kill it with a single character. And that's going to mean that because we took those extra turns, these guys are going to be late getting back up here, which means we may not have a chance to assault the other necropolis, which is going to be a huge bummer. But we are going to attack. Now, first thing we need to do is there's one little correction which I didn't even know, but apparently, see how that's a star ability? Apparently, and it's probably written down here somewhere. Here we are. You may play any number of special effects at any point during turn. The same applies for healing effects except for playing during combat. And that occurs even during resting. Okay? So you can use plus effects even while resting, which I didn't actually understand. Before or after your rest for the turn, you may play any number of healing and special effects spells. Now, I thought when you did a rest, it was basically the end of the, that's all you could do on your turn. And what that means is we can actually use this crystallize. And we could crystallize another mana. So the problem is we've got a pretty dodgy offer. Now this is another thing when you're doing cooperative assaults, is that if I use this dice for one of my characters in the assault, it doesn't get rolled back. So the source will gradually deplete. Now we're already missing 1 dice because we've got this one down here. So I have to decide whether I think it's worth it to cast this crystallize. So I think I am going to cast it. What we want is probably a green, I think. We don't really need crystals. Maybe Yeah, so let's just do that. We're going to cast a green. Take a green crystal, and this gets thrown back, turns into a red, and we also get to draw a new card. Boom. Beautiful. Extra attack. Okay, so that's just one little fix. I don't know, that means we could have cast this card. See how it's got a little hand? We could have cast this card at the end of the last turn to draw a new card. Wouldn't have made a huge amount of difference. And there was a lot of times during the resting periods that I could have used that, but I just didn't know. I've never actually played that thing. If I can find it again. Player's turn. So yeah, before or after you rest for the turn, you may play any number of healing spells and effects. Go figure. Anyway, so first thing we need to do is all produce 2 movement. So that's 2 movement, 2 movement, 2 movement, 2 movement. So everyone's produced 2 movement to get into... I'm just going to move them straight off because there's going to be so many cards going on the table in a sec. So everybody's moved in. So it's Tuvok, Wolfhawk, Bra, and Etheria. Now that's because it's always 2 movement to move into a city. You can see it actually in the bottom left-hand corner of this helper tile. See the little city in the corner? So it's 2 to move in, regardless of terrain type. It's one of the most common mistakes people make in the game. Anyway, so let's get in it. Let's do the first turn. So the first thing we need to do, and I actually haven't got a dedicated bag for this. I do in the official mod. Remember, this is a really old version of the mod. So I'm just going to grab this randomization bag here. Let's grab these. Flip. And what we do now is that we assign randomly monsters, okay? So I just go to 4. Bam. Now what we need to do is we need to figure out, so we randomly shuffle these bags up, and then we have to decide who is going to get what number. So I could pull out 2 here like that, and then put out 2 to here, 1 to the next guy, and 1 to the next guy, and 1 to the next guy. You know what I mean? So you randomly sort these, these tokens. We can choose how many go to each player, but not which ones go to which player. So let's have a quick look. This guy has some siege attack. He's got some blocks. He's got a hero which we can activate. So he's got a lot of gas, right? And he's got this awesome ability here. So he could probably take 2. This guy has got the Delphini Masters, which is pretty awesome. So he can definitely take 2. Now, she actually has very bad cards. She does have an attack 9, but it does give a wound. She's still got to deal with the double 8 fire wound as well, remember. Everyone's got to deal with that. This guy's pretty much useless. This guy, is going to basically be wounded and then be out of the game until he's replaced. So there's not actually... we do start with a mana crystal, but it's not actually particularly good. So I think we're only going to send 1 to her. And we can send 3 to this guy because he's got a great army. He's got a great army and really good armor. He's at 4 armor. Plus he's got gigantic siege attack. So he can actually do very, very, very well. So let's do this. Where are we? 4. Bam! And we are going to give 3 to this guy. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then to the first player, we're going to give 1. Then to the second player, we're going to give 1, 2. And then to the to the third player, we're going to give 1. Okay, so that is our randomly done monsters. So now we're ready to actually do our turn. I should have done 3 to him. Why am I... I've already screwed up. I was supposed to do 3 to him, 2 to him, 1 to him, 1 to him. Oh well, too late. Let's go. Let's keep going. Right. So, reveal. Oh wait, and also, just for completion's sake, all the people that joined in the battle get to flip these things because they skip their next turn. Okay. Let's reveal. Yablam! Okay, let's grab this thing as well. And I'm also going to grab a dice to count how many times I've hit it. Right. This is... So basically, we have 2 8 damage fire coming in from here. So that is... we've got 3 armor, so that does a total of 3 damage to beat them. So that is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 damage. This guy is 4 damage. That's another 2. 1, 2. This guy's 3 damage. That's 1. And this guy's 7, which is another 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the damage we need to deal with. We need to get this below his knockout level, which is 6. So we've got to get rid of all that damage. Now, we can probably do this. There's a number of ways we can do this. We've got the influence route. We've also got this card, Circle of Proficiency. Let's see if there's anything in the offer. We've got a double attack. Now, Circle of Proficiency, if I remember correctly, we can use it, and if it's not a flippable skill, we actually get to use its effect twice. Now, the biggest problem is these things here can't be used during combat, unfortunately. This one here to create a crystal. So I don't think we can use Circle of Proficiency to gain a blue crystal, which is a real shame because we kind of need a blue crystal. But there's 2 actually here that are worth getting. There's this one that'll give us 4 combat straight off the bat. So it's like just drop it down for 4 combat. And this one, which will give us -4 wounds. So this says, ignore either the next 2 points of damage assigned to your hero from a single fire or ice attack, or 1 point of damage from any other type of attack. So basically, this can remove 4 damage from a single attack. Now, unfortunately, this is 2 different attacks. So even though we can use Circle of Proficiency to get rid of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can actually only get rid of 3 because it can only ever affect a single attack. But if we drop Circle of Proficiency, boom, we've cleared... Oops. That doesn't happen in the new mod as well, by the way. So if we use Circle of Proficiency, bam, we've already blocked 3 of the fire attack. That's good. Let's grab Circle of, where is it? Fire Elemental Resistance. Bam. So that blocks 3. Now we have this guy. This guy is Ice Block 5. Get +1 Ice Block for each ability or color of the attack depicted on the enemy token, or for each mana spent by an opponent during the attack. Okay, so basically this means we have, if we block this guy, he has 2. That creates 7. So that is 5, 6, 7, which is enough to block him. Oh wait, this is Ice Block. Yeah. So we've got the Fire Gem, which turns it into Fire Block. So that will block him, but we need to pay with it with a blue mana. That would get rid of 1, 2, 3 damage. This guy, we can just absorb. We can absorb it straight onto here because it's got 3 physical resistance. So, boom, that's gone. And this one, now we're under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're now under, which means that we are not going to get knocked out. We can just attack. But we do have some other stuff here. We've got Diplomacy, which 4 fire block, plus that is 6 fire block. And then we can also do Influence, and that gives us 2 influence. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll block another 1, 2, 3. Now, this guy needs a blue crystal to siege attack 5. Remember, this guy has fire resistance. This guy has fire resistance. This guy's got fire resistance. And, right, so basically, if we attack them all in a single group, they're all going to share that resistance, which is fine, because it's all the one resistance, so it doesn't really affect us. The point is we want to do ice attacks or physical attacks. So we need a blue for that, and we need a blue for that. We do have a mana draw. Nice. So, ranged fire attack 6. So he can only do 5. He's still got 5 physical, which is fine. And we're still... Okay, we can actually do this very easily. Okay, so mana draw. We're going to cane this. Mana draw. Okay, so mana draw. Let me just... looks like I need to set collision meshes for these guys. That's a bit better. Again, this is an old version of the mod. Okay, so we're going to do mana draw, and we're going to... I think we're going to leave these crystals here. So I'm going to do mana draw with a white. I'm going to set this one to red. It's already at red, so that's fine. And that gives us 2 red crystals. 2 blue, no, I'm going to set it to blue, beg your pardon. And that's going to give us 2 blue crystals. 1, 2. I use 1 to power this, and I use 1 to power this at the time. I use my red mana to power this. Where did that go? Here. So I use my red mana to power this. I still need to power this. So I'm 1 white short. So I am going to have to take a white die. And I think that's done, right? I think that's everything. So to recap, bam, the bam, the bam, the bam. To recap, let's recap this because there's quite a lot going on, I know. So let's just check this out again. We have this guy is hitting 2 fire attacks, so that's 3 damage each. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This guy is hitting for 2 damage, 1, 2. This guy's hitting for 1 damage. And this guy's hitting for 3 damage, 1, 2, 3. So this is what we've got to get rid of. So for starters, we do Circlet of Proficiency. That allows us to ignore 4 damage from 1 target. So there we just go 1, 2, 3. The 4th ignore is actually lost because it can only attack from one attack, right? So we don't have an attack doing 4 damage. We've got, this is a double attack, right? So yeah, so that leaves 1 damage on the table. Whatever. The point is we've gotten rid of 3. Very nice for 1 card. Beautiful. Then I've done mana draw, and taken a white die from the source and set another die to blue. Now, this is actually, let me get through the explanation and then I'll talk about this. So and that's given us 2 blue crystals. I've used a blue crystal on this, and this allows us to block Ice Block 5 plus 1 for each ability or color of attack. So that becomes, because there's a fire attack and a fire resistance, so that's 5, 6, 7 block. Then we use the fire gem, which can change any card into a fire element attack or block. Okay, so that is now 7 fire block, which negates this. So I'll just do that. And that again removes 1, 2, 3 attack. This guy is just doing 3 physical, which can be absorbed here. So that's LeBlam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're already at 5. So we are already actually less. We've already reduced the attack enough that we're not going to get knocked out, but we can do better. So then we are going to play Diplomacy and play with a white mana. That gives us 4 influence. You can use influence as block and you can choose ice or fire. We make it fire block. So that's 4 fire block plus 2. That's 6 fire block. See the 2 fire block there. So that's 6 fire block there. Then we play this one. And we're going to pay with a red mana. And that produces another 4 influence. And because of this card, all influence can be used as fire block. So we are going to use 2 of that influence, though, to activate the hero, because to use her abilities during an assault, we need to pay 2 influence. But it's fine. So that's 4 fire block, 2 fire block, plus 2 fire block. That's 8 fire block, which means we can block the second attack by this guy. So that is another 1, 2, 3. And all that leaves us is 2 damage coming in from this dude, which we can basically ignore. And we've still got 2 strong cards left. Excellent. So that is all the blocking is done. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab all those cards, because that's all just blocking. So I'm just going to stick that up there. So now we can activate our attacks, because we are not knocked out. So boom, that's 5 attack, LeBlam. Boom, that is 5 attack, LeBlam. Boom, that is 5 attacks, that's 15. Then we go boom, and we use Mana Overload to create a green mana, which is part of our big plan. And we use that to do this. And that is another 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've created 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, what? 3? 22. Okay. I'm going to stop. I'm going to show you how stupid I am by load up the tools. Opponents. Let's get out some tools and just bring out the calculator. So that is 5 by 3 plus 7 equals 22. So we've got 22 damage. Now we just need to divide that single attack up. Okay. So these are all the people we want to kill. We want to kill the fire guy, preferably this annoying dude. We can probably leave this guy and then hit this dude. So that guy and that guy together is 12 damage, because remember, this guy puts 2 shield on whoever gets attacked first. So 12 damage. So let's just minus 12 straight away. Bam. It leaves 10 damage left. LeBlanc, LeBlanc. Okay. And that puts 8 damage on here. Okay, so that will destroy the avatar twice. It leaves us with 2 damage left, which is not enough to kill him. You need 8 to kill him. So that is one way to go. But what I think might be a better way to go is, what if I added another 4 plus 4 damage? That would allow us to do another whole attack on the avatar. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to change circlet of... There it is. We're going to change this thing. And I'm going to take this away. And I'm actually going to use heroic swordsmanship. And that's going to give us another 4 damage, but it's also going to mean we're going to take another 1, 2, 3 damage in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still not knocked out. And that allows us to do another 4 damage to here. Minus 4 equals 2. That gives us 3 damage on the avatar. So again, so that's what we did. So we did basically the same defense, except this time, that's white. Except this time we chose this thing, which we can activate twice because it doesn't flip from this card. If it does not fit, use its effect twice. That's 4 damage. So that is 15, 19, 26. So that's 26 damage. 15 plus 4 plus 7. 26 minus 9 minus 12. Wait. That's not right, is it? Can I not count? 15 plus 4 plus 7. So we have a total of 26 damage. We minus 12 damage because this got plus 2. So that's 4, 5, 6 and 6. So that is minus 12 equals 14. And then we have 4, 8, 12 is minus another 12. Yeah, so that leaves us the 2 damage. So yeah, we did it right. And that is it. That is the first attack done. Just a quick interjection during editing here. Basically, I don't know why, but for that entire time, I was counting concentration as doing plus 3 damage when it's actually plus 2. So that white spell wasn't doing 7 damage, it was doing 6. But since we were 2 damage over in my calculations, it didn't actually affect the attack. So basically we were producing 25 damage, not 26. The only thing I can think of is I've been playing a lot of Trek Knight recently, and the concentration for Lursa and Bator, who I've been playing a lot as, is plus 3. So I think I got confused. Or it could be that I kept thinking about, because I've got this big planned attack using this green siege card, which produces 7 siege. Might have just got stuck on my head. Luckily, it doesn't actually affect. So that particular error, if there are other errors, there might be, but that particular error doesn't affect this attack. Let's continue. So let's just process that. So if we did the drawing correctly, we would have only drawn two monsters to here, and we wouldn't have all these wounds. So we kind of screwed that up. This is in the bin. Okay, so he gets 4, 5, 6 extra things. So he's on 31. That takes him to 37, which means he has leveled up. And he also gets 2 of these things. Oh, there's only 1 in there. So let's just pick up all the ones in the discard pile. Shuffle them He gets 2 of these. Boom. And he gets another fire resistance, and he gets a tome swap. Excellent. Okay, so that is the end of all that. So I'm going to leave this all on the table for cleanup. This thing stays here. And that is the end of his turn. Okay, so quick edit interlude number 2. I'm actually going to end this video here because we're like at 30 minutes already. So the rest of the turns are going to continue in the next video, and I'm going to try and keep it about 30 minutes or so per video. So let's see if we can speed up the turns a little. And I will see you guys